All right, we are live. Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Views back at you today with another edition of Stout Sunday. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there in YouTube land as well. So let's see. Today we are joined by Alex the Beer Master, Jeremy Vincent, Michael Cormorant, everybody up. Robert the Whiskey Scout.
Hello.
Ronald Terrio of Louisiana Beer Reviews. And Tyler Mansell in Seattle, Washington. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and go left to right from my screen, which, let's see, from my screen anyway, we've got Alex up first. So what stout do you have on this Stout Sunday, Alex?
We have Unjunk Stout from Carton Brewing.
Awesome. What's the ABV and IBUs? Are they listed on the can there, Alex?
The ABV is 5.8 point of alcohol, and then the ABV is 60.
So 8.5% alcohol and 60 IBUs. All right. Sounds pretty good.
Yep.
And we've got Jean-Pierre just joining us, and he just popped in between Alex and Jeremy. So you're up next, John. Thanks for joining. And what do you got this morning?
Hey guys, top of the morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, Ken. Okay. I am drinking Guinness Stout, Trout Stout this morning. The ABV, I believe, is at 5.6%. I could be wrong, gentlemen. If one of y'all want to correct me. And
Yes, it's not. It's 4.2.
4.2%. Excuse me. So that's what I'm drinking this morning. So, bow.
All right. Jeremy, what you got?
Thanks to Michael's suggestion, I picked this up.
Stout Heart. Okay.
Yeah, Burr Oak Brewery out of Columbia, Mississippi. I mean Missouri, not Mississippi. Why am I thinking Mississippi? Anyway, so it's a extra stout ale. It's a 7.6% by volume. And I've heard good things about it. Michael recommended it, so I'm going to try it.
All right. Sounds awesome. Anything that Michael Cormorant recommends, you know it's got to be good.
If you can get it, yeah.
All right. So that leads us to Michael. What are you drinking this morning, Michael?
This is called Stillwater on Fleek. It's a collaboration by Stillwater with, I'm not good at this pronunciation, Les Cervantes, but my Spanish is not that good. But anyway, it's made in Stratford, Connecticut at Two Roads. And it's 13% alcohol, 50 IBUs.
Awesome. I love that can art. That is so cool. Is that a cassette tape on the side there?
Let's see.
Oh, I thought I saw like a cassette tape or something.
Is it on the back?
Oh, no, I guess it was just the barcode in the black there. It looked like a cassette tape. I don't know.
Do you like the colors?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, it definitely pops.
Cool,
catches the eye for sure. All right, so we've got Robert the Whiskey Scout up next. What are you drinking this morning, Robert?
I have a Boulevard, which is Kansas City product, whiskey barrel stout. It is 11.8% ABV and 32 IBUs. And it doesn't really say, it just says barrel-aged imperial stout. It doesn't say what barrels they used. So,
all right.
I like Boulevard products, so this will be the first time I've had this one, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Boulevard, but I don't think I've actually had any of their beers before. Other than maybe they had, I think they have like an unfiltered wheat beer. I think I might have had that one, but never a stout. So,
Yeah, the unfiltered wheat's very good.
I saw that one yesterday.
all right. Yeah, Jeremy is posting some interesting pictures. All the beers up there in Missouri. There's quite a selection, it seems like.
That's for sure.
All right. So, Ronald Terry of Louisiana Beer Reviews, the man, the myth, the legend. What are you drinking?
Oh, just Guinness Extra Stout. I bought a six pack. I bought a 6-pack yesterday. We talked about that on the phone. It's mid-range. You know, Jean. Oh, by the way, Jean, it's pronounced draft. That's the English spelling for draft. That's the old way. Like if you look in the Bible, it's spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T. But we spell it in America D-R-A-F-T. But anyway, this is the Guinness Extra Stout. It's not nitrogenated. It's just regular and carbonated, and it's 5.6% alcohol. This is brewed in Ireland, not one of the ones contract or brewed in overseas. They have many Guinness that are brewed around the world. It says ale, used to say malt liquor. For years, we got the one from New Brunswick, Canada, which was 6%, which I did prefer, but don't know the international bitterness units. They don't disclose it. I got this at Walmart for $8.92 a 6-pack. I don't know if that's a good deal, but that's what it cost me.
All right.
Who's the brewery again, Jay?
Say what?
What's the name of the brand? Victoria, you said?
Guinness Born Extra Stout.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, mine says it says imported by Diageo Beer Company, Norwalk, Connecticut, but it's brewed in Ireland at the Guinness, St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland, all that. So.
Yeah, Guinness and some other companies got together and they formed a company called Diageo.
Diageo, excuse me. Sorry.
Right. All right. So next up, we've got Tyler Mansell. What do you drink? Well, we can sort of see it. It looks awesome. Explain that beer to us real quick.
This is brewed by Elysian Brewing Company in Seattle, Washington, and it's their Dragon's Tooth Stout. It's 8.1% ABV. And what I like about it, has a date on it, and it says it's best before August 21st, 2019.
All right. Pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Find that.
I also really like the label of that one. That's pretty cool. And hopefully Elysian will start distributing some more of their beers here in Georgia.
And Louisiana.
And, well, yeah, everywhere.
And YouTube Boulevard.
Right. Yeah, Boulevard too. All right. And I've got one that I'm super excited about, as Michael Kormeroff already knows. Evil Twin Brewing Company. This is the Grand Cru Cuvée Double Barrel Edition. It is maple bourbon and Marsala wine barrel aged stout and barley wine style ale blend. It is 12.5% alcohol by volume. And Evil Twin originated in Denmark in 2010, and they're very popular and have great distribution in the United States, and they actually brew a lot of their beers here in the United States. This one is brewed by Dorchester Brewing Company out of Boston, Massachusetts, and distributed by 12% LLC in Mount Vernon, New York. All right. Well, if you already haven't open up your stouts and poured them, go ahead and do so now, and we'll go back to Alex, the beer master, and he can tell us a little bit more about his unjunked stout over there.
Alex.
Morning, Alex. Sorry.
What's up, John Henderson?
Good.
Actually, well, actually, it's going to be the first time I actually tried it. I've never had it. So I'm looking forward to trying this.
So what's the go ahead and describe the aroma and give it a taste for us. What are you getting there?
It smells like chocolate to me a little bit. So let's see if it tastes like that.
All right. Cheers.
It actually, the aroma matches what the taste tastes like, chocolate. and it has a little bit of bitterness in the back. A little bit of sweetness.
Are you
very good?
Are you tasting any of the alcohol at 8.5%? Is it boozy?
No, I only taste chocolate, but I can feel the warmness going down my throat though a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds pretty good. And 60 IBUs. I'm surprised it's not more bitter. That's kind of getting up there, but sounds like a good beer. And we'll come back to you. Keep sipping on that stout and think about a rating here, and we'll come back to you in just a little bit for your rating. So we'll go back to Jean H. Pierre, and you can describe your Guinness draft for us.
The Guinness draft right now, it has the scent of some coffee, little bit of cocoa, but mostly a coffee scent to this. So far, sipping on it is kind of bland to me. It's not as, as I would probably, maybe I should have gotten the Guinness Extra Stout than this one. But it was only $1.25 for a bottle at this hookup store that I go to, and I was able to get it there. So the hookup store, yes, yeah. I won't say what it is, but like I said, I just know I get the hookup. But anyway, pretty kind of tasting it, and just I'm getting those flavors, but it's not as strong as I would like it to be. So that's my view of the beer so far.
All right. It's a good stout for beginners for sure, because it's very light, mellow all the way through. That was one of the first stouts that I ever tried, John, and very, very easy drinking. I'll give it that.
I should have gotten, if I've known, I did see it and I just bypassed it, but I wasn't going to pay that price. It was a 4-pack of 1050. I think it goes for like 14 something. Oscar Blues, the 1050 Imperial Stout. I'm sure y'all know what that is. Yeah, not paying $14 for that. No, thank you. Yeah. But it's good. I've had it.
All right, we'll go to Jeremy here in just a second, but really quick, let's check in on the chat. We've got Ronnie S. watching. He says, "Happy Saint Stout Sunday Patrick's Day." All right, well, that's a mouthful. Happy Saint Stout Patrick's Day to you too, Ronnie. Kent Beer Reviews is checking in, says, "Cheers. Thanks for watching, Kent. Cheers back to you." Robert Collins is watching. It says, "Cheers, guys." Cheers to you, Robert. We've got Farmall Fanatic watching. Says, Yo, Farmall, what's going on, man? We've also got Eclipse Brewing in the chat. Good morning and happy Stout Sunday to you, Eclipse. I watched a video yesterday. He was making some kombucha. He's a home brewer, and he was trying out kombucha, so that sounded pretty interesting. We've got Friar Tuck in the chat, says, "Hello, fellas. Good morning. Happy Stout Sunday to you, Friar Tuck. Thanks for watching." Let's see. One sip at a time. Trish, good morning. She says, "Look at this panel. Y'all came for my birthday today, didn't you?" Oh, well, happy birthday, Trish. It's a good day to have a birthday on St. Patrick's Day.
Very, very true.
And let's see. Friar Tuck says 4 and Extra is the best of the Guinness line available in the U.S. I would have to agree with that. I haven't had some of the specialty ones, but of the ones that I've tried, the 4 and Extra is definitely my favorite. And all right. So now we will go to Jeremy Vincent.
Yes. Again, I'm breaking the
Jeremy Free.
Stout Heart, 7.6%. Let's get a nose on this one.
All right.
First off,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
not a much of a head on this one at all.
All right.
Jeremy,
you're breaking up a little bit, Jeremy.
Technical issues.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. You're frozen, it looks like. Oh, well, I think you're back. How's it taste, Jeremy? Well,
very good.
All right. All right. Very good from Jeremy. We at least made out that it's a good stout so far. So we'll let you keep sipping on that, Jeremy, and come back to you here in a little bit. Maybe your connection will improve by then. So I guess you're using your phone since you're not at home.
No.
Yeah, I'm on the computer, guys. What, honey?
All right. Well,
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
We will
Good shower.
go to. All right. There's Michael. We'll go to you next, Michael.
Yeah.
You ready to give us a breakdown of your stout, Michael?
Yes.
All right.
What's it called? Let's see. Chocolate cake and some alcohol. So it does have a boozy aroma, and I'm guessing at 13% you can't totally hide it. No matter what you want to do with it, it's almost impossible to totally hide it. But it's not, you get the chocolate cake first, which is a good thing.
And what was the ABV on that again, Michael? I forget.
13.
13. So yeah, that's getting up there. Goodness.
And it's 50 IBUs. You don't taste the bitterness on the first taste, but then as it settles in your mouth, you can taste the bitterness. So at 50, it's but it's a mild bitterness. It's not in your face, but it's definitely there. And you get the typical stout kind of things, very roasted malt, and some chocolate, some coffee, and it's intense.
I would imagine it would be at that kind of alcohol and just. Did you say that it was barrel aged or no?
No, it is not. But take a look. It's almost like it's a motor oil kind of look to it also.
Right.
Yikes.
Looks and sounds awesome. If I ever find that, I'm definitely going to snatch it up for sure. All right. Well, we'll let you keep sipping on that and think of a rating, and we will go to the Whiskey Scout.
All right. This one had a little bit of a head, but I've already taken care of that. It's not as carbonated as that porter, but it's still more carbonated than I anticipated. You can get the barley real well in it. The alcohol, because 11.8%, it does come through on the initial sip, but you don't notice it after the initial little burst. It's gone. I get slightly bitter chocolate, cola. Like the sweetness is almost not Coca-Cola. It's a generic cola. I'm not going to sit there and go Coke or RC or Pepsi, but there's a cola note to it that's there too. Overall, it's pretty good stuff.
All right. Hopefully, I'll be able to find that beer at some point. I was curious. It's a very interesting bottle design. Boulevard has very interesting bottle designs, or the shape of the bottle. How many ounces is that bottle?
Oh, it's just a 12 fluid ounce bottle.
Okay, I thought maybe it was one of those weird, either the 11.2 or like a 19. They have these weird ounce serving bottles now with a lot of the different companies. They're putting out like the stovepipe cans, for instance, 19.2 ounces. You see those everywhere now, and
right.
And then the European lagers, a lot of times they sell their stuff in 11.2 ounce bottles, I believe. So I was just curious.
I've seen that. And the best buy date on this is 29 October 2019. So we're well within its range.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll let you keep sipping on that and think of a rating. We'll come back to you here shortly. We will go to Ron Ontario with Louisiana Beer Views next. How's that Guinness Extra Stout?
Well, hey, Jean-Pierre.
Yes.
If you and I ever make a movie, we'll call it I Got the Hookup.
Okay. Got it. Anytime, partner.
Now, well, It is very roasted. Now they talk about they use roasted barley malt, and I believe it because it has a very roasted, dark toast. Like if you take toast, you know, and you make it almost black, but it's not burnt. I don't know how they pull it off, like to make it so dark, but it doesn't taste burnt. You get aromas. It doesn't take long to drink 11.2 ounce bottle, by the way. It's got that dark appearance. It's got that beige head. It's a nose of some cherry. Now, if you drink the foreign extra stout, it'll be really dark cherry oriented. You'll notice that. You'll say, whoa, what is the cherry? It has no cherries in it. It has water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. Then you got this sour note to it. Guinness. I've never read anything official, but the word on the street is that they have a blend of two beers, a fresh beer and one that they let turn sour to give it kind of that little twang, you know.
I've heard of them doing that.
Yeah, I've read that quite a few times over the years. But they're very secretive. They don't want people getting their hold of their recipe. So it's very bready, very toasty, very coffee, cream, chocolate, like Jean-Pierre was saying. The body's not heavy. It's high, medium. No, it's medium, really. It's not so sweet. It has like a dry finish. I mean, I could see how people could drink this like crazy. Now, if you go to Ireland or merry old England, usually you're going to find Guinness in a low ABV, 3.8 to about 4. 3.8% alcohol to about 4.0% on cask at a bar. Well, they could drink it all day without having too many fights breaking out at the bar room and all that. So
good luck with that.
Well, if they had 6 to 8% beers, they would have a lot more trouble, you know. So in England, they really push down on that high ABV stuff, you know. But we get the strong stuff here up to 8% with that Antwerpen, right? So, and that West Indies porter. So, yeah, this, if you like really rich, delicious, bready, creamy, coffee-oriented, chocolate-like items, this could be one for you. Plus, it's $8.92 at Walmart.
Oh, that's the kicker right there.
For a 6-pack, yep.
Yeah, have you tried the nitrous one?
Many times. That was invented in 1958, came out on the market in 1959, but on draft. And then I think in 1992, it's only been 27 years that they've actually had those widget cans. That's kind of a new innovation. People think of it as being around forever, but no, not really.
All right. Well, Jeremy, just real quick to let you know, your video and audio quality is a lot better now. So if you did anything, it's working.
I switched over to my phone. I shouldn't have trusted the hotel's Wi-Fi.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, never trust the hotel Wi-Fi. It's terrible.
No.
All right, so we are up to Tyler Mansell with the Elysian Dragon's Tooth, I think.
Yeah.
How's that stout treating you?
It's good. So it's got a really good lacing. So I'm really liking how it's sticking to the glass. And the aroma, it's not too strong. You just get kind of a chocolate, typical stout smell. And it's supposed to have citrus notes in it, but I'm not really getting that at all. But it smells very fine, delicate. It's good. And it's very smooth. It's silky smooth. Goes down very easy at 8.1%. You can't even tell there's alcohol in it. The oats comes out very well. It's very oat forward and silky smooth with notes of chocolate and caramel. It's perfect. It reminds me a lot of the Breakfast Stout by Founders. Besides, it's a lot more silky and smooth on the mouthfeel.
Awesome. It's been a while since I've had Founders Breakfast Stout, but I remember it being significantly bitter on the finish. Does that one have like a pretty bitter finish or no?
It's a little more easy drinking.
Okay. Sounds right up my alley. All right, we'll let you keep sipping on that, and we'll come back around to you with your final thoughts and rating here in just a little while. All right, so I guess that leaves me. So the Grand Cru Cuvée, I poured it, been sipping on it. It poured with a little bit of a head initially, but it's dissipated. I mean, 12.5%. You're not really going to get any type of head that sticks around. The aroma is very, very malt forward. You're getting the roasted barley malt. There's a definite bourbon presence with this one on the nose. A little bit of maple sweetness, and maybe a little bit of the Marsala wine, like maybe some more sweet notes on the aroma coming from that. But it smells absolutely incredible. It really doesn't smell boozy at all. So, cheers.
What's the ABV, John? Again,
12.5%.
All right, that's pretty good.
And man, oh man, is this a good beer?
You're not doing anything the rest of the day, are you?
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm doing chores and drinking beer today.
He's mowing the lawn and rum.
You don't want to have you end up washing a car and not remember.
Yeah, truck.
No, I won't do anything crazy like that. Although if I do it, and my car's clean tomorrow morning when I get up to go to work, I won't be disappointed.
Right.
Okay. So dark roasted barley malt. The bourbon barrel presence is coming through really nicely. There's a nice sweetness from the maple that I'm getting. A little bit of a wine note as well. I wouldn't necessarily think Marsala, but there's a definite sweetness that I'm attributing to the wine barrels. There's some chocolate notes. It's definitely malt forward. The IBUs are not listed on the can or the website. I would imagine they're maybe between like 40 and 50, but because they age this in the bourbon barrels and the wine barrels, I think you're getting a little bit maybe of the hop character without the bitterness. It's absolutely incredible. One of the best stouts I've ever had. I had the Grand Cru yesterday, which I reviewed on my channel. I think I like that one a little bit more. That was a different blend, but same. I think it's pretty much the same base, and they just age it a little bit differently in different barrels. This one is absolutely incredible. It is warming going down, but it's not necessarily boozy. It's boozy in the sense that you can tell it's like bourbon barrel aged because there's a definite bourbon presence, but it's not like boozy like a high gravity malt liquor or like a real cheap beer. So it's boozy in the best possible way. It's awesome. So I'll think about a rating here, but it's definitely going to be very high. We'll go through the chat real quick before we go back around to Alex for his final thoughts and rating. We have got, let's see, goodness. The chat is jumping. We've got Drunken One is tuning in, says, good morning, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well.
And you, Drunken One.
Drunken One. And
I'll talk about it.
Let's see. We've got Friar Tuck says, corned beef and cabbage going in the Instapot in a couple. All right. That sounds awesome, Friar Tuck. And let's see. Jacob Downey is tuning in. Good morning, Jacob. Happy Stout Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. And Eclipse Brewing says, I'm keeping it green, drinking Fields of Green from Fort George. All right. Sounds good. Scruffy the Janitor is tuning in and says, looks like used diesel oil. Well, yeah, a lot of times stouts do look like they're definitely thick and dark. So yeah, spot on with that description, Scruffy. Wet Dreams says cheers. Jeff Knapp says, wow, what a lineup. Happy Stout Sunday, guys. Happy Stout Sunday to you, Jeff. Always appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you drink a good stout today on St. Patrick's Day.
When he says what a lineup, does he mean like a criminal lineup, or what is he talking about?
I don't know. I hope not.
I do too.
Friar Tuck says, would they really have more trouble, or would people drink a higher ABV percentage, get tired, and go home to sleep? I don't know, Friar. That's a
good question. Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
good question. As long as they're taking an Uber and not getting behind the wheel, who cares, right?
Exactly.
All right. And Friar Tuck says, John's not messing around either. No, I don't mess around on Stout Sunday. Nothing but the best. All right. And
John, can we ask Jeremy for his description since all he said so far was very good?
yeah, we can go back to Jeremy real quick, and then
Well, you can
And
get
then
me on the. You can get me when you come back around.
we'll get you on the way back around. You can give a full description and a
I
rating.
appreciate it,
All
Michael.
the
You were caught between your connection and whatever. We couldn't really hear much.
right.
Yeah, the aliens.
All right.
Aliens got me.
So yeah, we'll get back to Jeremy in just a minute. We'll go back to Alex for his final thoughts and rating on the unjunked stout.
Well, I really like this, but I'm gonna put it as a 4 because
A 4 out of 5. Okay. Let's
80.
see. What would that be on your scale? A, B, C, an A or a B?
I think
An
I'll
80,
do
wouldn't
it. I think
Would
I'll
it be?
do it. It's not the best beer, but it's still good enough to outget it again.
Okay.
Do you want to give it a number out of 100? Because that's the scale we use.
He said
I
8
would
to
give-
Official Stout Sunday scale.
what would I rate it, Michael? What do you mean?
Well, if you
Well, he said 4 out of 5, that's an 80. So
Does that sound about right, Alex? 80 out of 100, B minus?
Yeah.
okay,
All right. All right. So back to Jean H. Pierre down there in Mobile. How's that Guinness draft?
I mean, like I said, I took it out of the refrigerator and left it sat on the counter for about a good hour or so before we started the Stout Sunday. Let it warm up a little bit. It's done a little bit, but like I said, it's just very bland. And as you said, John, it's kind of John. It's like sort of one of them introductory. If you're trying stouts for the first time, this would be something you can try, or the Guinness Extra Stout. It's okay. I say I give it a B minus for me for this one. As other stouts, I like the Guinness for an extra stout. I like the Imperial stouts more than stouts like this. To me, I look at this more like like you're drinking a Budweiser. It's kind of, okay, but it ain't not making me feel a little, certain way right now. I feel like, is there any other beer I can try? Give me a little bit of, a little bit loose, a little bit relaxed. And this is not the one for me, but it's a good stout. B minus score for me.
so B minus to you is also an 80, 80?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So that leads us back to Jeremy Vincent, who now seems to have his connection problem solved. He's crystal clear and ready to give us a description and a rating of his stout. So,
Jeremy, go ahead, take the floor.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, John. I pour another one because I'm already on the second one. But Michael did good recommending this one. It's got a lot of, like I said, a lot of chocolatey malts and real good coffee flavor. It's just a great stout. And I'm going to give this beer a 95. It's that good.
wow. Awesome. I have got to find that stout.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know if they sell this out of the state, in Missouri. Michael, do you know?
I don't have any idea. I got that at Stout Sunday at Stout Fest. That was one of my somebody got it. Somebody in New York got it. I don't know how they got it.
We're currently working on technology to where if you're watching Stout Sunday and you can feed $1 into your computer, a stout will pop up and you can drink with it.
You slide across the virtual bar right here. Look.
Right.
And it goes to the other person.
Keep it up, John.
All right. So sounds like an awesome stout, Jeremy. Best one of the day so far with the ratings, anyway. So now we're up to Michael Kormeroff again, which I think I have a feeling it's going to be a good rating for Michael.
As this warms, it is still boozy, but the bitterness has picked up. In this case, only at 50, and I like that. It counters the booziness a little bit. It's definitely a sipper. You don't want to take any gulps of this because you may end falling off your chair. But it's really good. I really like it. I'm going to give it a 96.
Wow.
Wow.
Good score. Very good score.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds awesome, Michael. Definitely win the can art, gold medal of the day with that. Yeah, that is awesome. A lot going on there. All right, so back to Robert the Whiskey Scout. How is that Boulevard Stout treating you?
Well, I'm going to give it an 89. It's almost an A. I mean, it's just right there at the cusp. I really enjoyed it, obviously. It's really good. I think if it was a little bit more rich, I'd enjoy it a little bit more. I think it's just a lack of richness in it that's keeping it from stepping over into the A zone.
All right. All righty. Well, that leads us back to Ronald Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews.
Well, I think I will give the Guinness Extra Stout a 94 out of 100, a solid A. It's a very good beer. I don't think it has much wrong with it. I don't really think it has anything wrong with it. I don't know why I'm giving it a 94. It seems like it should be 100 if there's nothing wrong with it. But
that's very good beer.
Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, so I'll be conservative.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of beers that I drink that I can't find anything wrong with. But as many beers that I've had over the years, I know that I've had better beers. So you can't give a beer 100 if you know there's something better out there, right? At least that's the way that I look at it.
I don't know about that because considering I've never in my life actually brewed a beer, and considering that I buy the stuff from these companies and it tastes really good, I always question myself like, oh yeah, boy, look at you. You're some kind of big shot. You're going to grade their beer a 94 because you found 6% deficit with it. Oh yeah, really? You found 6% deficit? Why don't you make something better? Well, I have no ability to do that. So I always question my own ratings that I'm being too persnickety. That's just me. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're doing something right. You got one of the best beer channels on YouTube, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, Ron.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say I was worried about it. I just say that's how I feel about it.
Right.
By the way, John, I've never given 100 to anything, as you know. So I have given 99s, but I've never given 100. I'm still waiting for Nirvana to hit. It may.
That's the name of the beer. Nirvana get hit.
We'll name it Nirvana, and we'll brew it ourselves. Jay and I will collaborate on it, and we'll make Nirvana beer.
It'll be great considering the.
I don't think I could make 100 beer. I'll have to admit, I'm not an expert on brewing. So,
I'd be glad if I made a D beer that people could actually drink without vomiting. Hey, Miguel.
Yeah. Oh, Michael.
I have tasted 100 beer before, above 100, and it was called West Flatteren 12 from Belgium.
I've never had that one. I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
It was $14 a bottle, so it better be over 100.
Wow.
I'm talking about 11.2 ounce bottle, this size, and it was $14. It was $85 a 6-pack.
Wow.
Man, oh man.
Wait a minute, Ron. You said $85?
You heard me correctly. I said $85 plus tax for a 6-pack. You got 6 beers in a glass. And then I bought another 6-pack and gave it to my friend Paul as a gift. He's still got one sitting in his fridge. 7 years later, I'm like, are we going to review this beer while we're still alive? I mean, you know, what's the point of this? So he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. West Lateran 12. Well, it gets 100 out of 100 on every website.
Wow.
If I ever see that, I think I would have to pick it up.
Yeah, $14 bottle. I had to get the bottle, not the whole 6-pack.
Yeah, I don't know about the 6-pack. Well,
So Ron, you were saying something about the Guinness 1759 limited edition amber ale. I didn't pay nowhere near that.
Oh,
This.
what is that? Oh, yeah.
I didn't say anything about that beer, but I know you're doing it.
No, previously you said that's pretty expensive stuff. It is, but you paid a significant amount more than me.
Yeah, because I am a sucker for a ripoff.
Me too.
You're also a sucker for a good deal. Anybody that's seen your liquor collection would know that.
Wait a minute, I didn't get ripped off. Wait a minute, I didn't get ripped off with my liquor collection.
No, you said you're a sucker for a ripoff. I said you're also a sucker for a good deal, which is why you have such an extensive liquor collection.
Oh yeah, I'll go along with that. Well, I figured I'll probably never get to try West Lateran 12 again in my life. And people were telling me, you could have got it for $6 a bottle in Belgium. And I was like, yeah, but I got a feeling it would cost me more than $85 to fly to Belgium and get hotels and travel to the brewery to save $85, you know? So something's telling me it didn't turn out so bad. And I got to go around, and then I can tell everybody the last 7 years, yeah, I tried that. Drink a few bottles.
But it wasn't 100.
Ron, we're all impressed by the fact you did have that, because I've seen it, but I've never had it.
Wow.
It was sold for 1 day in the United States. And literally, it sold out in less than 3 hours across the whole United States.
Wow.
Are you serious? Wow.
So there was a market for it, even at that price. That shows you something.
Yeah, they had armed guards. They had armed guards guarding the trains that were carrying it at the railroad, because they thought people would try to like attack the train. And that was probably all done for publicity, but still, it came in, and I had to bring 1 6-pack back to the store because somebody called the store from the state capitol. Somebody in the state capital city of Louisiana called the store screaming and hollering. I wasn't supposed to get 2 6-packs, and the store called me and said, could you bring that back? We'll give you a refund. So I didn't want to see people's career end over that, so I brought it back and I got my refund. But it was
when was this, Ron?
Well, if Michael gets,
when was this?
Go ahead, Alex.
Ron, when did this all happen? A couple of years ago or just recently?
When a couple of years ago. It's going on 7 years ago.
Oh.
Why did they stop making it?
They still make it.
Still? Okay.
No, they never stopped making it. Look, the only way you could buy West Lateran 12 is you have to go to the brewery, which is a monastery, and you can buy it. And they watch you. You can only buy one, because they had a problem where people would say, oh, I'll take 6 of them. But what they were doing is drinking one at the little cafe, and they were pocketing the other 5 and going and reshopping them for, outrageous prices. So the monks got wired for that. So now they let you have one, and they watch you drink it. Well, what happened was the monastery's roof went bad. They had to get a new roof. So the only way they knew how to raise money was to do this 1-day sale in the United States where they could raise all this money to repair their roof. So they put it out on the market. I still got my West Lateran glass. I shared the other glass with Paul. And we split the bottles. And then somebody was frantically begging me to sell him a bottle. So he met me in a parking lot somewhere, brought money and a bunch of other beers just as a consideration. And they sold it in that 1 day, in that 3-hour period. They raised all the money they needed to repair the roof. And really, I swear, anybody ever asked me, what's the best beer you ever had? I say West Lateran 12. It's like way above all the great beers I've had. And I've had a lot of great beers. And I can assure you that.
Right. Speaking of great beers, guys, let's go back to Tyler here. We want to see
Right,
how that.
wait, you don't want to hear all these reminiscent beer stories.
Well, of course
I
we
love
do. We don't want to forget about Tyler over there. He's got a solid stout himself, so we gotta hear about it.
I have to get that Elysian. I have not seen that one yet.
Yeah, hopefully you'll see it soon. It's really too good. It's kind of got this pillowy kind of feel with it. So I'll have to give it for a rating. I think it would fit in well here. 94.799.
Oh wow, almost a 95.
All right.
But it's really good. I'm tempted to give it higher, guys. This is just the first time I've had it. I really don't see anything wrong with it. But it's great. It's well done.
Awesome. Yeah.
John,
Hopefully.
the only question, John, is if your beer is going to go over my 96 or not.
Oh, that is a good question. Okay, so the Grand Cru that I had yesterday, I gave that a 99. This one is just a slightly different blend. I like the Grand Cru better, but this one is still excellent. It's pretty much world class. I'm just going to go 1 point lower because it's very close, but it's not quite as good as the Grand Cru. So 98 out of 100 for me.
All right. All right.
Okay.
And it really is that good. I mean, you're paying, you get what you pay for with this one. It's definitely
if you want the good
world-class.
stuff, you got to pay. That's true.
John,
there's only a handful of stouts that I've had in my lifetime that are comparable or better than this one and the Grand Cru.
I've had both of them, John. I agree with you. They're both in the 98, 99 area, so I'm with you.
And John, which Grand Cru was that again?
This is the Cuvée, which is a double barrel edition, which basically it's maple bourbon barrel aged and Marsala wine barrel aged, and then it's blended with a it says barley wine style ale blend. So I guess what they mean is they're blending. They take the same base beer and they age some in bourbon barrels and they age some in Marsala wine barrels, and then they blend them together.
Robert, the other one he was talking about is this one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Straight Grand Cru. They come in 16-ounce cans, and they're a little bit. And John will tell you they're on the pricey side, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I mean for this beer, I would say that it's worth every penny. You're looking at. I bought a 4-pack of each. It was $26.99 for the. Well, the Grand Cru was $25.99. This one was $26.99 for the 4-pack. So
okay, thanks.
And that's cheaper, John, than I paid in the food co-op. So you got a good deal.
All right. And there's actually, I'm really excited because there's about 4 or 5 other Evil Twin beers that they've gotten in that I'm excited to try. I wish I could get the Big Money Stout that Michael got up in New York, but that one is I think 16%, and that's above the alcohol limit here in Georgia for beer.
Have you contacted your representatives in the legislature in Georgia to have that law changed? I mean, I don't understand why you're not on it.
Hey, John.
I need to get on that. I don't think it's going to make a difference because of the area that I live in. It's just so.
Now, John, it doesn't really matter, but what's the date on your stout?
What's the date, guys? You gotta have the date.
It's a code, and I don't understand it, and I can't really even read it, so I don't know.
Jay, do you know anything about these codes? I know that.
I don't see one on mine.
As long as it has a 9, you're okay. That's that you.
Who's good with the codes? The guy in North Carolina.
I'm good.
Yeah,
This is the code on the bottom of mine. I don't know what it means.
I'm pretty good at code. I'm pretty good at codes.
Okay.
I'm speaking code.
It says ETGC. I don't know what that means. Then 1-84-2907. Do those numbers mean anything?
I bet you can get a cryptographer, and they won't even be able to decipher that one.
Nope.
I mean, for the Guinness,
ETOC 1 AH 2907.
Sounds like it's.
I have no idea.
Mine is ETOC 18H9257. So very yes.
Okay, so these ETOC
I don't
codes
see
are
no codes
evil
on mine
twin
either.
codes of some type. I don't know what.
So the number at the end seems to be the differing. Is the only thing.
Mine is easy to read. You know, like mine is L8344. So that's the 344th day of 2018. You know, so mine is not.
Any of the European codes, anytime you start with the L, usually anyway with whiskey, the following number or numbers determine when the year. So
Yeah.
I mean, you have like an L8, and then it has like 147 behind it. That means the 147th day of 2008. Or if you have an L18 219, that's the 219th day of 2018.
Is that true on all types of whiskey or just some?
That's only true on some types of whiskey. You've got to really, codes are funny. There's some I have not figured out, but a lot of them I got a pretty good idea on. So I'm getting better as time goes by. There's a website called whiskey.com, and they'll post the codes on when they know they purchased the bottles. And that helps you decipher kind of what that code means. But it's always the amount of days. The three numbers are always the amount of days after the year.
Okay.
So,
Right.
Hey, Jay, for your Guinness beer, where did you read your code or number, whatever? Where was it?
On the back of the label of the bottle.
Mine's don't have it for the Guinness draft. I don't see mine's.
You got a bottle or
I hope you don't get sick, John.
No.
you got a bottle?
I know it's fresh. I hope it is.
I saw the same bottle that John has in my food co-op, and I didn't buy it only because of the low alcohol.
Right.
It was only 4.2. I don't bring 4.2 to Stout Sunday, but that's just me. That's Jeremy. There's nothing wrong with John bringing it. It's just that it doesn't have to be 13, but 4.2. Yeah. I don't bring a session stout. That's just me.
Yeah. It was cheap, so I got it. So.
No, it's okay. And again, I'm a big Guinness fan. And
Michael. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask Michael.
Go, Jay.
You go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
Were you the one that sent me that text message Friday night?
Which one?
Somebody. It was about. Was somebody giving somebody evil eye, or does he just hate accountants? And
Deny.
I was not a witness at this wonderful Fandango event. I did watch the videotape, and from watching the videotape, from the point that he went coastal, okay.
Coastal
would have been
funny.
preferred.
Coastal was Jeremy's IPA from from Sweetwater last week.
Yeah.
But from the point he went postal, I didn't see any reason that he should go postal. I watched.
I'm with you too, Michael. I was watching it too. I was like, wow.
He was under control.
I know.
When it comes to Fridays, it's only up from here.
Right. My question was, did you send the text message?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But did you notice that I didn't send it on the regular one? I sent it directly to your messenger site so nobody else could see it.
Right. It woke me up. This was what you know.
Oh, so you know what time that was, though? That was 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock your time. I guess you went to sleep early.
I did. And then I woke up, and then I tried to go back to sleep. I eventually got back to sleep, but
okay, I'll make sure I don't do it in the evening at all, just in case you went to sleep.
That's all right. I sent him a text at 8:30 his time one night, and that woke him up. So I learned my lesson.
One night. It was actually the exact night before. So I woke up 2 nights in a row.
I woke him up, and then you woke him up the next night.
Are we clear that James will no longer be attending Wild Card Wednesday, or if he tries to, will you bounce him?
I think we can move on to the future and
Yes. Yes. That's the
I
plan.
don't have anything personal against him. I just unfriended him because of his attitude. That's the main reason.
I was talking to a priest at church yesterday, and the priest said, do a kind act for somebody. And he said, even pray for them. So I was praying for him actually yesterday. I thought, I don't have any animosity against him. And I feel to me, I have the feeling that it's more like a cognitive or emotional disturbance, and I don't get any pleasure behind that, and I don't think it's funny, and I don't say, oh yeah, ha ha ha, too bad. I just feel bad for people like that. I had problems with a female reviewer about 3 years ago, and it was a similar situation where I was never angry, and I just felt bad for them.
Jay, do you think that
he
has some built-in hostility against accountants, and that's what the beginning?
No,
or he doesn't like Ronnie S.
No, nothing like that. It's just
all I know is that's a funny situation there. But moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't.
I don't get pleasure. I don't get any pleasure from it. You know what I mean? Like I don't say, "Oh, ha ha ha! Look at that! Look at that person who can't fit in and has trouble." I feel bad because my attitude is, I wish they could fit in, and it doesn't have to be all this trouble. But so that was the whole point about.
Well, you tried to make it work,
huh?
You tried to make it work. Him and Eric had a disagreement.
I try to make things work, and I want everybody to be included in the beer, wine, and liquor community, and I wish everybody would get along. And so I have good feelings about it as far as my part of it, because I always try and probably too much, and I give people opportunities and probably too many.
We should all
make them feel included.
Jay,
try to make them feel included.
Being forgiving is great, but you have to reach a point.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I said I didn't get pleasure out of it. I didn't say I was going to be a punching bag.
Yeah.
My thing
sometimes you got to use what they call tough love.
My thing is
maybe James just needs a good hug from somebody, but I'm not going across to the other side to New Jersey to give him a hug.
I don't think Ronnie needs to either.
Yeah.
We'll give him a virtual hug where we send him the little emoji where it's like this.
I mean, I live closer to him than anybody else that's here and Ronnie S., but I'm not going to Jersey to straighten him out. He has problems.
My thing is that let them go through their thing. You don't want to be part of the dark cloud. Just kind of distance yourself and go where the light shines. So
no, I hope he does better. I have nothing personal against him.
Yeah.
No, neither me.
We should all live in peace, love, drink good beer, drink good whiskey, drink wine, and listen to bread.
There you go.
Jay, hosting Wild Card Wednesday.
I probably am not going to do that this week due to baseball-related reasons.
If Eric can't do it, Michael, I'll do it.
You'll be on if Eric is doing band practice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, real quick, let's go back to the chat here. Now that we've confused our viewers with all this behind-the-scenes stuff, so we've got Alan. We got Alan here.
If they want to get unconfused.
Right. All right. So Alan Spear and Gaming is tuning in. Says cheers, everyone. Cheers to you, Alan. Appreciate you stopping by. He also says, let's see. He says, cheers, Jeremy. I'm trying to figure out what beer story I came in on. Yeah. So see, we're confusing. Alan Spear and Gaming says, damn, the Grand Cru was that good. Yes, Alan, absolutely. The Grand Cru and the Grand Cru Cuvée are both pretty much world-class beers. You should definitely check them out. If you can't buy a single, I would just say go for the 4-pack. It's well worth the $25, $26 for the 4-pack, and it's really like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Like, I may never see it again. I bought it. I pretty much bought the 2 4-packs that they had. So let's see. And he said that's not a bad price coming from Evil Twin. Their high-tier stuff is crazy expensive. You can pay over $12 for a 16-ounce can. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like I got a pretty good deal, especially considering that I've had both of them now, and I think the quality is well worth it. Jeff Knapp says Michael goes big or he doesn't go it out at all. Yeah, that's right. No more no more 4-5% stout. And I'm kind of the same way. I kind of gotten to a point where I wouldn't really go back to Guinness or like a super low alcohol stout because I've been spoiled with all of these barrel aged, bombs. And if I drank a Guinness today, I would probably rate it a lot lower than when I first had it because it just probably wouldn't cut it anymore. Palates evolve.
If I keep bringing Guinness, will I get banned?
No,
as long as we don't threaten people, we'll be all right.
No, what I was going to say is I'm just talking about Stout Sunday because this coming Wednesday I'm bringing a session New England style IPA. So I do drink sessions. It's just that I've given up the session stout.
Yeah, right. Well, I've had some that are a little lower ABV lately, but like 4.2. Looking at it now, 4.2. As a matter of fact, I probably need to pick up a Guinness and try it again and see what I think of it, because 4.2 is very low for a stout.
Yeah, it's really not a stout; it's a porter, really.
It really, like 5-6% is about as low as you want to go with a stout. 4.2 is like Jay just said. Yeah, that's kind of like bordering on a porter. Because it just doesn't have the alcohol to support the body that you're supposed to get with a stout, which is a heavier body.
And I think that's one of the comments that Jean made, that he found it too bland and light. It really didn't like it had the stout boundary in it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. After drinking this 12.5%, if I had a Guinness and drank it right now, I'd probably think that it tasted like water, to be honest, just because I just had like a super heavy body, high ABV beer like this, and then going down to something like that, I would probably think that it was water at this point.
I think maybe that was the reason they made it. I guess, hey, you can have a stout, but you don't get too tipsy, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. There's
a market for it.
Yeah. But this
good stuff. It's good.
All right. And I said the score was pretty fair, at 80% score.
Really means you can tell, you could have a porter and tell people you're drinking a stout.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, John, so you would go back to Guinness even though it's watered down to you, John?
Well, no. I thought it was an excellent stout the first time I had it, and subsequent trials with it. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like my palate, I feel like I'm getting more into this heavier stuff. And if I were to have it now, I would probably be a little bit let down. But no, absolutely, I would never turn down a Guinness. I've always enjoyed it.
Okay, I get what you're putting down, man.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and close out this live examination here. But before we do, there's a question in the chat from Ronnie asked, and he says, is a porter just a lower ABV stout? So I'm going to just let either Michael Kormaroff or Jay answer this one because they could probably do it much better than I can.
Jay, do you want to do it?
Okay, look. It's not that. It's the reverse. All stouts are porters, okay?
Yeah.
But not all porters are stouts. Back in the 1800s, they used to have these dark ales that they would, like what Jean was drinking, 4.2%, 3.8, 4.0, 4.1, whatever. And they would drink that at the docks in England while they were working. And the guys that hauled the products off the ships into the warehouses, onto the shipping carts were called porters because they were carrying it. So that became a style of beer, porter. Then some companies decided to make stronger versions, which they call stout porters. So you had stout porters. But at one time, really, stout beer was any strong beer. Stout beer just meant strong, hearty beer. So it just kind of got confused. Now you'll have people telling you, no, one has to be roasted malt, one has to be. That's not the qualification. That's a generalization. So that's your answer. But then a 4.2 is not stout. They're just calling it that. It's a porter. Okay, you can look at old advertisements from 100 years ago, Guinness advertisements, where they're saying, buy Guinness, a fine porter beer. Or it might even say, buy Guinness Stout, a fine porter beer. And Guinness Stout is a fine porter beer because every stout on the planet is a porter. You're all drink, but not all stouts are ales. Not all porters are ales, I mean to say. Because Baltic porters or lagers.
Right.
All right. So I think that adequately answered your question there. So we will go ahead and end this St. Patrick's Day edition of Stout Sunday. But before we do, one quick announcement. At 1:30 Eastern Time on Ronald Terrio's channel, we are examining Bacardi Gold. So check that out if anybody is interested. And thank you, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody out there in YouTube land has a great St. Patrick's Day. Be safe and enjoy yourselves. To the panel, Alex the Beer Master, Jean H. Pierre, Jeremy Vincent, Michael Komarov, Robert the Whiskey Scout, Ronald Terry of Louisiana Beer Reviews, Tyler Mansell, and myself, John Anelli. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.